The area that I worked in, I mean, I can't really call it ghetto, but it was definitely a place where you didn't want to like walk your dog, like your little Chihuahua dog, outside at night because someone's gonna snatch your purse and snatch your dog.
Let me see you, darling. Man, lie.
I got donuts, I got custard, I got burgers, bring that mustard. I want million subs and views, where's my crab? Keep them clustered. I got hot wings extra spicy, you know I make it hot. I got my bits coming all week, hit that bell so you can watch. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the belly of Sareli. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Sareli Eats. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe because we are eating over here. Today's letter of the day is L. Now, I went to Little Caesars, and the reason I went there is because, you know, I was cruising down the street in my 6'4". I actually used to work at Little Caesars, and I was on my way to get another L, and then I saw Little Caesars, and I'm like, hey, that starts with an L. Let me go ahead and just eat some pizza tonight, eat some Little Caesars, and give you a story time. So I got a pepperoni and a cheese pizza. Hope you can see that right. Yeah. And then for dessert, they have like cinnamon crazy bites. I'm not too sure, but they're nice warm pieces of bread with some icing and some cinnamon sugar and some cinnamon dressing. It looks delicious. So you know I have to eat an entree first before I can get to the dessert. So we're gonna go ahead and put that to the side right now. And for my beverage of choice, boop, high quality H2O. And also, whenever I eat pizza, I like a plethora of different things. So I got some ranch, I got some barbecue sauce, some crushed red pepper, and some hot sauce. So we're gonna go ahead and start grubbing because I am very hungry. Let's go ahead and start with a pepperoni pizza. Ooh. Close that up. I broke it. Pepperoni pizza. Taste test, gang. Nostalgia right in my hand. You ready? I'm ready. No sauce, anything. Just eat. Ooh. Mm-hmm. It's good. Let's hit it with some ranch. If I can dip it in there. A little ranch. Mm-hmm. There's something about Little Caesars pizza. I don't know. It just tastes like loyalty. Like it doesn't change up on you. You know, they don't ever steer me wrong or do me dirty. It's pretty much the same. Do a little bit of hot sauce, and then we'll get into a story time. Ooh, my ranch is now going to be spicy ranch. There we go. I got some food on my glasses. Pizza and barbecue sauce. I love that combination. So I feel like everyone has like well, not everyone, most people have a coming of age job where it's just like entry level. That job you can definitely grow and move up in positions, but it definitely encourages people who are doing like entry level stuff to start here. And my first job was technically Chuck E. Cheese, but when I was 16, 17, I had this hustler mentality of, I got to keep working so I can save money. So I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and then I applied at Little Caesars. It was right by my house. They were hiring, and my family liked Little Caesars. Working there was very chill. Like all the workers that I worked with, they knew how to get the job done. And I mean, it was just fun. Every time I had a shift there, I was always a cashier, which I actually kind of hated. They usually made, not to sound, sexist or anything, but I just noticed that whenever I was there, I was always a cashier. And then if they had any other girl on shift, they were usually the cashier too. So one day, this lady came in. I had just gotten on shift. She just came in. She had a pizza, like, with the box open in her hand. She looked angry. She came up to my counter, and then she just, like, slammed it upside down to where, like, the sauce and the cheese kind of, like, splattered everywhere. And it got all over me. And I'm sitting here thinking, yo, like, what is she on? Like, she's gonna, like, who is she coming at like that? And she was upset because her pizza was wrong. She asked for a supreme with like extra mushrooms, and then there was like, it's hard to tell because the pizza was splattered everywhere, but she said that there was little to no mushrooms on there. So she's yelling at me. I just got on shift. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, does anybody see this? She's yelling at me like I did something. I ain't even clocked in yet. And the manager came up, and they started going back and forth. And the lady was just like so angry. And I could tell like she was like directing her anger towards me like I did something. And I promise you, I didn't do anything. I didn't ring her up. I had just gotten to work from school. And so I was just distraught. So he calmed her down. He made her a new pizza, which is all she wanted, was just a new pizza. So all that other slamming stuff and yelling, I wasn't having it. I will say I'm a pretty passive person. And younger, I was pretty passive too. But I've kind of learned to kind of stand up for myself a little bit now. But all that yelling was just uncalled for. So when the shift was almost over, I went to the manager and I said, hey, I don't want to be a cashier anymore. Teach me how to do the dough, the rollout, the stretching, all of it. Teach me how to make it. Because the people who made dough, they got to just sit in the back of the store, kind of like by themselves, just making it, just having like some music on, and then just making loads of dough. Because like Little Caesars has hot and ready pizzas, like they're famous for, so that whenever you go into the place, you can just get a pizza and leave. So, they didn't cut that side very well. My pepperoni. Okay, so they taught me how to make the pizza, and I was happy because I'm like, okay, I don't have to talk to anybody. Forget about customer service. You know, this is all about me. As long as I can make this dough, correct proportions, I don't have to worry about anything else. So every day, every time I was on shift, I was always the person that was just in the back, just making the dough for the next day, making the dough for the next day. And I'm going to say that the area that I worked in, I mean, I can't really call it ghetto, but it was definitely a place where you didn't want to like walk your dog, like your little Chihuahua dog, outside at night, because someone's gonna snatch your purse and snatch your dog. That's kind of the area that it was. And so I'm sitting in the back, and one day I hear like this loud like crash, but I have like the music on, so I'm thinking maybe it's like the music. And I didn't go to the front to like where everyone was because I was in the middle of like stretching some dough to put on like our pans with the cornmeal and have it already set. So at this point of the shift, I'm covered in flour, covered in like dry dough bits, covered in water. I'm just like, thinking about working there, I was always messy. My Jordans, I try to look cool going to work. That was just pointless because my shoes were always messed up. So I was making the dough, hear this crash. I'm still working because I'm like, you know, I have to keep doing this. They're probably just messing around up there because it was late at night. And then I hear like one of my coworkers, like, she screamed. She like, there's like a yelp. And so then I'm like, okay, so they must be like playing around. At the end of the shift, you know, people kind of mess around a little bit. They don't mess around with like food or anything, but you know, they'll push each other around or just something stupid. And I hear her yelp, so I'm thinking, okay, somebody probably scared her. And then I poke my head around the corner, and then there is this lady who looks like she is on something. I don't know what drug it was. You know, for all I know, it could have been vitamin C, and she had too much orange juice, and it just got her all hyped up. I don't know what she was on, but she was walking around in the back of the like kitchen, just going crazy, and then just like clashing food and everything everywhere. And then I'm in a corner where I can't escape, and I made the mistake of making eye contact with her. And I looked at her, she looked at me, and then she did like this growl, and I'm like, oh snap, like what's about to happen? You know, I didn't know how to square up back then. I didn't know how to, you know, like knock somebody out. I'm just standing there with pieces still in my, like dough in my hand. And here she comes. She just comes bolting like a whole long hallway, like Waterboy style, like that movie Waterboy. He's like, stop making fun of me. And he like tackles a dude. She just darted down the hall. I don't know what to do. So I just braced myself. And then she just tackles the mess out of me. And flour is flying everywhere. My pizza dough was ripped. My pan of pizza balls were all just flipped over to the ground. And then she's just like going crazy in the back. And then she makes her way towards the front of the store, like hitting the counter. And by that time, my manager had called the police. And that was it. Like, I don't know what happened. Don't know what she was on. And it was when I was working there late at night. And man, she tackled me literally. Flour absolutely everywhere, dough absolutely everywhere. And I'm so distraught thinking, you know, I don't know what just happened. Like I don't know what just happened. And obviously the lady was on something. So police came and did what they had to do. And at the end of the day, we had to clean up that entire mess. But I was like, I'm going home. You know, I did my statement. I'm the one who was scared. I'm the one who could have caught something or been murdered because I didn't have a way of getting out. So I'm going home. So I took off my apron. I clocked out. And after I, did my, I still had a quota to kind of make, but I was already pretty much close to it. So they just said I could go home because I'm like, I'm calling my mama and I'm getting out of here. And I left. That's it. Literally. Just don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs, adults. Nobody do drugs. Stay away from drugs. Bad. I don't know. She kind of put me off on my job after that. And there were some days when I didn't work, but I would come in that evening to do a shift, and then they'll be like, hey, yo, 30 minutes ago we were robbed. And I'm like, and y'all still want to keep this place open? Like, y'all still trying to work? Like, I'm too young. I'm not trying to, that's why one reason I didn't want to be a cashier also is because there were just so many kind of sketchy people coming up to the counter, and there was it was the front door, the counter, the cashier. No other huge barrier because the counter was really thin. Man, I dealt with so many people with attitudes. I understand that, people get hangry, but you just gotta respect people, especially if they're making your food. I cannot attest to anything being done to, food because someone was upset and then they were trying to make it out of revenge. I would say that it was a very clean place. It was just, there's other places that, they don't care. They'll drop your patty on the floor and then serve it to you with a big smile. I get scared. Like if I get a messed up plate, I'll either ask for my money back or I'll eat it and then just never go there again. But that was my story. Man, that lady was crazy. She was strong too. She was about maybe 5 foot. And she was really petite. But boy, I tell you, you would have thought that I said something about her mama the way she tackled me. And there was another person on the floor, so maybe they got tackled too, and then she was just running on some more adrenaline. But I was a target. I think she just needed to make a point of, causing a ruckus. I don't know. They make some good pieces though. It's much better fresh. Much better fresh. Look. Still good. Shout out to everyone in the food industry. Shout out to everyone who's in retail. But if you are in the food industry, shout out to you because, customer service is something that they always drill. The customer's always right. If something's wrong, make sure they leave happy. But people are so ruthless and mean sometimes. Comment down below your coming of age job. Like I said, no shade. If you still work in places like this and you're young or older, it don't matter. That takes a skill that some people just don't possess. It takes patience. You got to be humble. It's a good thing to work there. And if you're young and you're looking for a job, don't sniff at you know, McDonald's or anything like that. Work at a place like that, humble yourself real quick. You know, I didn't think, when I was younger, I didn't think anything about working in places like that. I was just thinking about money and how I was gonna get my check, pay my tithes, and buy some Jordans. And that was my check, because I still live with my parents. That's all I wanted was to buy shoes. I'm a huge sneakerhead. That's probably like, it's probably not the most healthiest thing, and I've calmed down a lot, but I'm just all about J's, Nikes, Air Force Ones. I'm cool with Vans. I'm starting to like Reeboks, Puma. You know, I have like just a collection of sneakers. Keep them nice and clean. And just put them away. That's all my checks were. Now my checks go to bills and food. Well, let's try barbecue and hot sauce. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, comment down below your coming of age job, and if you had a great experience or horrible experience. My two, Chuck E. Cheese and Little Caesars, which I have a couple of stories about Chuck E. Cheese that I'll tell at a different point. Because if you think adults are ruthless, Chuck E. Cheese, I would get beat up by children. I couldn't do anything about that. Like, I couldn't talk back and be like, no, you're stupid. Nah, I'm gonna lose my job. And kids were just ruthless. I got cake thrown at me, ice cream. I got pushed, bit. That's another story. But taught me to be humble and to just respect everybody. Let's try a couple of these bad boys. Taste test gang, grab one. I'm gonna eat that one, so don't touch that one. Y'all can have any of the other ones, but don't touch that one. You grab your piece. Don't eat it yet. We're gonna eat it together. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Like melts in your mouth. Like a deconstructed cinnamon bun. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. That's it. Buttery. Delicious. Probably not very nutritious, but Oh, Little Caesars, the good old days. That it? That's gonna go ahead and do it for today's video. I know you see my crust. Don't hate me. I am not a not crust eater. I am just a picky crust eater. That's gonna do it for the letter of the day, which was L. Make sure you comment down below all food, restaurants, or food challenges starting with the letter M. Is this M? I believe this is M in American Sign Language, or this is M. One of the two. I'll make sure I have it ready tomorrow. But I love you. Remember, when I eat, you eat, we all eat together. Cue that outro. Hey.